you would have probably already watched this trailer many times, so I just quickly summarize some of the key points that I see. First of all, the size, it's really big, and the inner frame is very intricate and detailed. Notice how they're using CG, but you can kind of get like a good sense of how all the components fit together. For example, the the fighter pilot is like inside the Red Bull thing, and then there goes more and more layers on top and on top, and the hatch actually opens. There's like three openings. So you've probably seen this has like metal parts, metal veneers, and yeah, so this trailer goes through the details, and you can kind of see the fin funnels. So there's some information about the fin funnels which they didn't put in the trailer. So for example, each fin funnel has over 50 parts, and they have like an inner frame themselves. And something that most people may have not noticed is that the fin funnel, once connected, they can actually go open and closed, so they can go perfectly flat or they can be bent to an arc. もちろん劇中戦闘シーンのようなパネル展開やガンプラオリジナルの展開もできますので Yeah, so in the video you can kind of see that it can also transform in the Unleashed version, and I think that's kind of some of the information that was on Japanese websites, like the actual prototype, like the physical Unleashed look, which we haven't been able to see much on English websites. So this is the actual Unleashed, but you can kind of tell from the video, it's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on, and it's only like 1 or 2 seconds long. I think over here it goes fully Unleashed, but again it's only like sections, so if you really wanted to see in detail you'd have to like slow it down or like continuously pause. You can see there's way more opening hatches in the previous PG Unleashed RX-78. The video plays really quick, and after a few seconds it's just over, and then you can kind of see like movement. Again, you can watch the full video to see that. Yep, so one piece of information I can provide is that the actual model has been going around different countries. So I know that it started, there's one prototype and it's been going to like different Gundam festivals and expos. So I know that it first started, you could see it in Japan, and then they moved it to Korea, and then they also went to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and then China. So China had the controversy of the scanning thing, but it's kind of like hidden behind the glass box now, and people can go in person and kind of get an idea of what it looks like. But the problem is that it's only in the normal format, so you can't really see what's underneath, and it's not unleashed, so they haven't opened the hatches. Okay, so just want to quickly go through some of like the Japanese websites that I found that have like more information. So this is probably the main one that most of you guys may not have seen. So I kind of found this on like an Instagram post from like a UK hobby shop, and they found this Japanese article, kind of I think it's the same dudes that were in the trailer, but they were giving an interview, and then you can see what it looks like in real life from like different angle shots, which you may not have seen before. So this is just the normal PG, as you probably see, different pose. And the interesting part is down below. So you can see here, we have pictures where they're actually unleashed. So back view, that's nothing new. Close-ups, that's fine. Yep, so new pictures are around here. Okay, so this is a little bit of a close-up of the legs. So I'll just go through image by image. You can kind of see that even the back thigh, oh sorry about that, the back thigh, not the back calf, it opens up once and then opens up again. So you can open the inner frame, and then the inner frame can also open a little bit. And then you can see that this veneer is definitely metal, but even if these parts are plastic, they kind of look kind of metallic with like the copper coating. And then you can see here that the side slides open and it reveals a hole, which probably confirms the HWS expansion set. And then you can see that the front also opens, which we know before. But it's really cool that the parts look very metallic, so it looks like this metal. This thing at the back, it could be some sort of like, it looks like some sort of like cable material thing. So that's also something that would be cool. Okay, so the next picture is when it's completely unleashed. So this is kind of something that I never saw anywhere else. So you can get an idea of, sorry about that, you can get an idea of what it kind of looks like when it's like fully unleashed in the phase 4. So you can see that these front ankle parts, they go very wide up. They go very wide and they go very high up, and also the back as well. I don't know how I feel about leaving it looking like this, but it can be done. The other thing that this picture doesn't have is the toe part, the yellow part. It actually um, can be moved down, so it kind of points down on the back, on the front, so you can like grip into rocks and stuff. The front parts, the front flaps move open. We also have the waist, different openings here. And then you can see that the pilot cockpit, it opens, the door opens, and then the silver part opens, and then the whole front part opens as well. There's a lot of like openings and openings. And you can see like the front chest pieces, they go up. I think some of them, it's a little bit different from the video, but technically, like, I think this part is supposed to go down, but not everything is transformable yet. You can see the shoulders are slightly opened, and then the head can open from the sides and the top. I think the V fin is supposed to be able to like slightly go up, but it's not shown in this picture. And then I think in terms of the arms, not entirely sure. You can do a comparison later, but I think the arms are supposed to open up a little bit more. So I guess since it's in prototype, not everything is fully openable yet. Yes, the sides of the legs here are also supposed to be able to open, but I guess it's not possible at this stage. And then, yeah, more detailed close-ups of each of the pieces. You can see here, this is one of the first times I've seen in like a real image of the shoulder being able to open. So you can glimpse and see kind of like the copper metal at the back. And then I think it's really cool that you can see the full chest opening up and then like reveals the insides underneath. Again, since it's a prototype, not sure if this is like exactly what it will look like under, but still pretty cool. Top view. Top view, I don't think there's too much to look at here, but it does look like, I'm not sure if this is intentional, but there's a piece missing here, and you can kind of see like the details, and then you can see the gaps in the shoulders. That's kind of cool. So I'm assuming that you can lift this shoulder piece up and it reveals like the copper underneath. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Head, and then you can open up, see the copper from a close-up angle. Legs, different angle, another angle. So something interesting is that there's a lot of detail, even the inner frame, like this ball joint for the RG, this would just have been one gray piece, I think. But here you can see even the ankle joint is color separated into multiple colors. So you have the white, the black, the white, the black. That's kind of cool. And then even within the white piece, you can see that there's very fine details which you can we call it panel line, and then you can see like all of these parts. There's so many different like lines and stuff which you can panel line as well, and then even the copper parts, super detailed, all of these lines, and even the what I think it's like the MGX Strike Freedom, even the outer frame, the inside of the outer frame also has like these patterns, these cool patterns. So even looking on the other side, it will kind of look cool as well. And then it just goes through some information. So what I've done is I've translated from Japanese to English, so you can kind of pause and then read through the interview if you want. So talking about parts, there is a lot of parts. Okay, more images. And then these fin funnels are gigantic. So from the interview, it's confirmed there are about 50 parts for each funnel and 6 funnels. So 300 parts for just fin funnels alone. And that is going to be a pain to build. But yeah, this is what it kind of looks like, and then a close up. So I assume this is stickers and then a metallic piece on top, but not confirmed. And you can see how detailed it is. Like even this picture, it looks like this piece here is color separated from this one, and then these are all. This looks like this is a piece, that's a piece, that's a piece, that's a piece. So you can see why there can be so many pieces. And then if you take these off, I assume there is an inner frame, so even that has a lot of pieces. You can see the outside there's a grey and a white from the sides, and then a scale with the pilot figures. So if anyone has a perfect grade kit, you can know that these figures are quite. They're not small. They're big. So this fin funnel is huge. And then you can see the opening connection. So it's different to the RG where you can slide it. I think this one's, yeah, you can kind of see these three things here. It flips to the other side and then you can slide it up and down. So this mechanism will definitely lock it in securely. And then what they're saying here is that, so a lot of the big YouTubers were commenting that the fin funnels, how would you display them individually? Well, what the Bandai staff said is that you can use the action base 8 to hold the fin funnels up. So essentially, if you want to display all 6 fin funnels, you probably need to buy some action bases and then you'll be able to hold them up. So they're saying here that the action base 8 has a certain amount of height when the fin funnels are displayed, so it should be easy to line up. So they've kind of taken this into account, and the fin funnels will have joints that can attach to the base. And then here they're talking about fin funnel gimmicks, kind of can see that from the trailer. And I think that's pretty much it for this article. So that's kind of like the main stuff, like all of these pictures. Not many people would have seen this because it's on a Japanese website. And then I think, yeah, so some of these Japanese websites have like additional like interviews with the staff, but I think these pictures are pretty much the same as before. You can see from the top view there was like a little bit missing, but here it's like fully covered. So I think, yeah, there's still slight differences between the prototype. See this one here, the copper was exposed from the top view, but you can't really tell from these CG images. And then I feel like this functionality we haven't seen in real pictures yet, so they're probably still developing some of the parts. But yes, more interviews. I think these are pretty much the same pictures. The inner frame, I would be very keen to see the inner frame as in like an actual model that we can see in person. That would be cool, but I feel like they're still developing it because look at this, it's so shiny and it looks like there's so much metal. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think these two guys were the ones that were presenting. And there's also like a live stream available on YouTube when they've unveiled the physical model for the first time. So if anyone is interested to watch through that video, just have a search on YouTube and you'll be able to see the full live stream where they took out the physical model and then they kind of showed everyone like the fin funnels and opening hatch gimmicks and kind of just explained when this would be released. So it's releasing in January of 2026 in Japan, but for the rest of the world, you might have to wait a little bit longer. I know for us in Australia, we probably have to wait until March. That's when the pre-orders for the local hobby stores say they're going to be shipping the product. So there is going to be some delay with the rest of the other countries in the world. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and I'll see you guys next time.